Yeah, our basement's just a shoe shrine.
Graveyard.
There's a lot of shoes.
Between the two of us, probably 70 pairs.
Wow.
And I'll probably take, you say no, how much do you think?
Oh, I think there's probably well over 100 of shoes.
Well over 100, but I'd say probably 70 to 80% of those are mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Connor and Kylie Mantz. Today on the Running Effect podcast, Connor has been on the podcast many times, and he just set the American record in the marathon at the 2025 Chicago Marathon. And I wanted to get him back on the podcast, but then I was like, well, he's been on a bunch by himself. I should bring on him and his wife, Kylie. And Kylie actually recently has started running in the past few years. And recently, actually yesterday, as of recording this, ran her first marathon. She's an absolute stud and becoming a really excellent runner. And so today's conversation was a really fun conversation with America's best marathoner and one of the best to ever do it in America, honestly, at this point, and how fast he's rising might go down as the best to ever do it in American distance running, with his wife, Kylie, who's also a new runner. A lot of relationship advice for you youngins out there, mixed with a lot of running wisdom and fun stories along the way. If you enjoy this one, hit the follow button so you don't miss another episode. Share this one with a friend. If you enjoy it, shoot me a DM or email. I thought this one was a ton of fun, and so I hope you appreciate it as much as I did. And my last request is give us a 5-star review. It takes 5 seconds to do. It shows your appreciation for the podcast, and we always greatly appreciate it when you hit that 5-star review button. With all those notes aside, enjoy this conversation with America's couple, Mr. Connor and Kylie Mantz. Well, we'll kick it off here, ladies and gentlemen. Across from me is America's couple, the American record holder and his wife, Connor and Kylie Mantz. Connor's been on the podcast a bunch. And Connor, I'm sure you're sick of doing these one-off podcast interviews. How's the race? How's training been? Tell me about Coach Eyestone. So I was like, got to bring on Kylie, the better half, who's now a runner, who's a freshly minted marathoner, I just learned. So guys, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Kylie, how are the legs feeling post marathon?
I just told Connor, like right before we jumped on, that when I'm sitting down, I don't remember that they're sore, and then I stand up and remember. So I'm hobbling a little bit, but I don't know.
Something I'm curious to ask you about, Kylie, because this was my experience. I feel like the marathon is bad and makes you sore, but I feel like the travel, I mean, you guys flew, I'm sure, makes it worse. You sit on a plane and you're all like cooped up, and what's your take on that? Were you like more sore after the plane rides and whatnot?
Luckily, we just went to California. So it was a super short flight, and it's a super little flight, and we always get upgraded to like first class. It's not as glamorous as it sounds, but but we, of course, like we wanted to get there super early, like in the day. And then we got, like, our flight was like at 6 a.m. this morning Pacific time. And so anyways, we got back super early, but that meant that we were up super early. So
Totally.
That was the lame thing about the travel, was just the time of day that we unfortunately chose and put upon ourselves.
Trying to save a few bucks.
Yeah, Connor, were you nervous before the race or no?
No, not really.
Yeah, everyone's asking, like, are you nervous for
I was
how she does? You're like, no, I'm fine.
I was confident in my abilities, and I don't know, when you're with somebody, you're pacing them. It's like whatever they need.
Wait, did you run it with her?
Oh yeah, we should specify.
Yeah. I ran the whole thing with her.
What?
So.
I feel so underprepared. I hop on this podcast, guys, and little do I know that Kylie ran the race yesterday and Connor paced her. So, okay, well, how did this come about? Dude, you just ran Chicago. No break, no nothing?
I took like a week off, or a week mostly off, and then, cross is coming up too quickly. So it's funny, I did my first workouts last week, and then I ran a marathon at the end of the week. Maybe not the smartest idea I've had, but it was fun. Yeah, like, I don't know. You want to go off on how we decided?
Yeah, how it came about. So I have it was my first one. And so, and I've been training and working up to it. But I kind of have this little dream goal to hit the OTQ. And so this one was more, I mean, I don't know, like we kind of just wanted to see how long I could hold OTQ pace. Um, and so that was, but I didn't really want to think about having that pressure on my head. And so Connor was willing to come out and pace me. And so he was there running that time, and I made it about 16 miles before, I don't know, my pace kind of fell a little bit.
The wheels
that.
fell off.
So, anyways, there's obviously work to be done, but it was just let's dip our toes into the marathon and kind of get that experience. And then, I mean, you can only learn so much from other people. It was time that I just experienced it myself and then can work from there.
Connor, how much convincing did this take of Coach Eyestone? You go into his office and say, I want to run a marathon this Sunday?
The tiniest bit, I don't even think we really chatted it through more than I said, hey, I'm going to pace Kylie for. So it was like the only thing we talked about me pacing her was, it was like a week and a half ago on a Friday. I was asking him how far I should go on the long run. And he's like, well, let's just keep it pretty short because you're still bouncing back. And I was like, well, I got a marathon next week to pace Kylie. And he's like, oh, you can do a marathon at like 6'5", just fine. Like, you're fine. And so that was about it. He just told me to go shorter on the long run and not like go as far. And
yeah, he kind of kept forgetting that we were going out. So
yeah,
it was fine.
This
has
has
a whole
to be your first time. Yeah, this has to be your first time doing a race like this. What was, Connor, like the difference between the American record attempt and like you probably woke up yesterday and you're like, okay, this isn't a race, but sometimes there's more pressure pacing someone. So
right.
How did you feel?
So honestly, because it's like, I don't know, it was like the goal was 5:58, 5:59 pace. It didn't feel too bad, and it's a marathon, so it's like, you know, you can be fast a few seconds a mile or slow a few seconds a mile for, you know, the first 20 miles, and then you kind of just see what happens. So I didn't really feel that a ton of pressure. It was fun though. Like, I don't know, I just kind of woke up and, well, actually, she pushed me out of bed at like 3 a.m.
I wasn't sleeping very well.
She wasn't sleeping very well, and I woke up and she's pushed me out of the bed, and I already had one foot off the bed, like one leg off the bed. And she was like all.
I think I just was moving around quite a bit, so.
A lot of nerves. Didn't like the bed in her parents' house, so.
Yeah, maybe, and we should specify. So we went. The marathon I did was the Two Cities Marathon in Fresno, California, which. I'm from Fresno, and so it was kind of fun to do a marathon in my childhood backyard. So I just stayed at my parents' house. So yeah,
classic. Yeah, that's fun. My most recent marathon was in September. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, and despite Toledo being a crappy city, I'll stay. I'm grateful from where I came from, but never visit Toledo. There's nothing there. It is really cool to run a home city marathon. I feel like there are really cool, special feelings with it. So that's cool that was your first. Connor, I'm curious for you. Yeah, I did not know you did this. I'm sure your loyal Strava followers thought this was the coolest, cutest thing of all time. Am I wrong? Did this get more kudos than normal?
I didn't even check.
I got a lot of kudos.
Did you get a lot of kudos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely. And it was kind of fun because there's a lot in the course. There's a lot of like out and backs. And so like we would be going like pretty much up front, and so everybody else would like be cheering, and everyone kind of knew that we were coming too, and so it was this fun thing that like when we were passing people we get big cheers and whatnot just from randos, and it's nice. Like, of course it's fun, like especially right after the American record, people are just still hyped about that, and we're totally honored that some like the American record holder would come to Fresno, California.
Yeah. 1 second. We're going to get that at the door.
You're good.
Just in case it's USADA. So 1 second.
Okay. We're keeping the podcast listeners on their toes. Fun fact, I got drug tested in high school. I don't know why. I ran for a public high school. We were terrible at sports. So the theory was they were just trying to catch kids on like hard drugs. So it was never, I don't think they were worried about kids taking EPO. I think it was more so weed or whatever they would test for. But there was one, it was my first time. I was like terrified I wouldn't be able to pee because I was like listening to running podcasts at that point, and I'd hear pros be like, oh, they pull me after races and I can't pee. So I chugged so much water, and I thought I was going to pee myself on the way over, but out,
so I have never heard that from anybody else. My high school did drug testing too. Like pretty often, like it was kind of the same thing. It's like you did any sport or competition, like debate was included in that. I'm not sure what else was. And you had to pay $25 every time you did a sport to pay for the drug testers to come and drug test students. And so even if you never got tested, your $25 went to the drug test that would happen. So I remember telling people that I was drug tested quite a bit in high school, and people were like, "Why?" And it was like, you got the guy who's running, a 30-minute 5K team. He's getting drug tested too, and it's completely random how they did it. Yeah.
It's funny because they were so serious. My junior year, I missed it because of family vacation, and they still made me go to some laboratory to fulfill the obligation. The funniest story though was that freshman year when I took it and I was nervous. I think I've told this story once on the podcast before, but my test came back with like I don't even know the full story honestly, but just like a marker that was like a little above range or something. And so they asked me if I took like any prescription drugs for like ADHD or anything. I was like, no, not at all. I'm like totally fine. My coach was like, okay. So he talked to my parents, and it ended up being totally fine. But it became this joke. Like we would have whatever. A lot of I was gonna say we had salad as a family. Every family has salad, but one of my favorite salad dressings was poppy seed, and apparently poppy seed. Do you know about poppy seeds?
Yeah.
You
can test
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's no way that was me. Maybe it was, but then for the end of time, there's always this joke that poppy seed dressing made me like have an elevated marker on a drug test. You're like, oh, you like poppy seed. So, anyways, that's my experience with drug tests, but have not been tested since. So, it was just so random. I was like, we suck at sport. It's not even like we won states and then they're like, we're gonna drug test you guys. It's like,
yeah.
And the crazy thing was, middle schoolers were doing it too at this school. I was like, dang, this is next level. So anyways,
that makes me feel like I wasn't that weird, because this is the first time I've talked to somebody else who's like, oh yeah, my high school
yeah. I do want to ask you, Connor, did you officially sign up for the race or did you pop in and out?
I officially signed up.
Did you finish?
I did finish, but they didn't have me on the finishers list. I'm okay with that though. Like,
I was going to ask you that. How will this taint the record?
I know.
38.
It's funny because I was going to DNF. I was like, I don't want. It's like, because it's USATF certified, I didn't want to like do anything that would get her DQ'd. So like I was like, I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to like be on be an official starter, have a bib, do everything normal. Like any possibility, I didn't want her to run the trials qualifier and then like get DQ'd. And so I was like trying to be very, I don't know, maybe overly not analytical. What's the word? Just cautious. Really cautious about everything. So I was like, I'm going to start. I'm going to be like, I'll have a bib and everything. But I did tell them I would probably not finish, and then I ended up finishing. But yeah, my name wasn't on the result, so I'm like, I'm happy about that. Like, I'll take it. I'll take not having my name on the result.
What was the race day fit? Were you sporting the classic singlet shorts combo, or were you like, look, this isn't as serious. I can throw on I can pull a Kipchoge and wear a long sleeve.
Well, so he wanted to not be in the kit, but I was like, it's my first marathon. Like, I want to be in the kit, and I think it would be cute if we matched. And so and he was like, well, I just wanted to be in like
T-shirt.
The T-shirt. Like, why did I need to be all decked out? So I decked him out so we could twin.
Yeah,
I love it.
She borrowed a Nike jersey from, I think, Emily Venters.
Yeah, Emily Ventures was kind enough to give me an extra.
Shout out.
So, yeah.
Former
she was
podcast
so
guest.
sweet.
Kylie, I want to hear about your running journey. When did you get into it, and what's the sport been like since being in it?
Yeah, so I ran my freshman year of high school and didn't like it very much. Which is funny now, I didn't like that people yelled at me when I was running. Like, stop yelling at me. Like, that's not, it kind of freaked me out. I didn't totally like it. I didn't like that people like, well, if you're yelling at me, that means you're mad at me. And I didn't like that. And so, anyways, I quit and I really didn't enjoy it. And I really wasn't there for the competition. I just kind of like to go out and run. I was pretty involved in student council growing up, in leadership, both on a school and church level. And so that's what I did all through high school. And so I would like run on the side, just kind of like, oh, I have an hour. I guess I'll knock out 4 miles, I guess. I like wasn't tracking it or anything. I'm like, I just think from here to there, I think that's about 4 miles, you know? So I really I had no idea how far. I wasn't tracking mileage, anything. And didn't really do any other, sports in high school. And so, got up here to BYU and, it's just a beautiful scenery. Yeah. I mean, you back up to the mountains, it's beautiful. And so, and I love to explore. I love to hike. And so I would run and hike and just have fun. And then we met that fall, of my freshman year. And so, and I didn't know who he was. Frankly, I actually didn't even really know that BYU had a track team. Like, how little I don't know anything. And so, anyways, it took me until long story short, it took me until we were married, for me to like really kind of understand running. And again, like I ran just like stay in shape or to just go relieve stress. Like I wasn't doing anything that was, for competition or really trying to build towards anything. And so anyways, after we got married, that's when things kind of kicked off and I joined the BYU club team, and absolutely fell in love with it. And I didn't feel like people were yelling at me because they were mad. I realized that's encouraging. That's not, they're mad at me. And so anyways, that's kind of when the eventual dream of, do I walk on to BYU, kind of came into light. And so, that's where it started. And then, yeah, that's
the rest is history,
started, I guess.
Yeah. For you, Kylie, you said it took you a little bit to like understand the sport of running. Please tell me you had some semblance of understanding when Connor was winning NCAA titles.
So, fun fact.
Oh boy.
Here's the big detail. So we started dating and that was the fall of 2019. 2020 hit, COVID hit. I went back to California. So Connor was here in Utah. I was in California. And I was kind of just trying to figure out like, where's the world at? What's the fall going to look like? Am I going to go back to BYU? Am I going to be online? What do I do? And I decided to serve a church service mission. And so I left for 18 months. I served in Washington State. I was down in Vancouver, just across the river from Portland, Oregon. And so I missed, while we were dating, I kept breaking up with him and getting back together and all that. But on my mission, we were in contact, but I could only reach out to him via email or snail mail once a week. And so I actually completely missed his 2 national championships at BYU.
Whoa.
Yeah.
However, we were dating when I won with the team.
But it over my head.
It seemed like she was excited, but then the next time, but eventually, like 6 months later, I told her, yeah, I'm going to try and run professionally. She was just like, no, don't do that. That's not a real thing. You're not good enough to ever make the Olympics.
Yep, true story.
Crazy.
Kind of butted heads for a little bit there.
Yeah, what would you even say in response? You're like, no, I'm actually better at this than you think.
I actually suck at engineering, believe it or not. When I'm getting my degree in it, I don't know what's going on.
Going back to freshman year, who liked who first?
It was pretty mutual. We met in a religion class, and so I was just a new freshman trying to get to know people. And he and I hit it off. Either we were talking about topics in the class, or we talked about running because I just thought he was a fun, cute kid that liked running. I didn't realize he was like the dog of running. So, and like again, like that was my level. I'm like, oh, cool.
I need that dog. I need to wear that dog shirt. Right?
like, oh, you like running? That's fun. I do too. You know, like that was my level type of thing.
I love it. Connor, how'd you ask her out? And what was the first date?
First date was, it was actually a little bit of a...
I initiated it. Let's be real.
She initiated it. She reached out to me over social media and was like, hey, what are some good places to run around here?
Again, just trying to be adventurous.
And I was like, I gave her like a big list. And she's like, I was like, have you ever done Deer Creek? We had done a workout at Deer Creek like earlier, like a week before, which is like usually my favorite spot to run. But I feel like I haven't gone there in like almost a year now. It's been too long. Anyway, and she was like, I don't have a car, so I can't get up there. So I was like, do you want to like go up there right now? And I like the week we went up there for the workout, the leaves were incredible. Just reds and yellows, and like it was awesome. So she's like, sure. So we go up there and we're gonna go look at the leaves, and everything's dead. But there is this like train that's just randomly on these tracks that like I'd never seen a train there before up until like that month. There was this train there, and I was like, let's go on the train. And so we got on this like creepy train, and there's like broken glass everywhere, like spray paint all over. It definitely looks like a horror movie.
Oh, and we weren't running. We just
we didn't run.
Like went up there to go explore and look at the leaves. Instead, we found this creepy train instead. So that was our first date.
Yeah. And then
Crazy
she's
stuff.
like,
Who would you say? Who would you say fell for who first?
Oh, I fell for her first for sure.
Okay, so she initiated, but you fell first.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I would say so. I think too. It was hard because I mean, at the start I felt like it was pretty mutual, but then when I was debating whether or not to serve the mission, that's when it really tested our relationship a little bit, because I was like, I don't want to have like one foot in the mission and then one foot in trying to keep up this relationship when I'm not there. And so I kept breaking up but getting back together because I liked him, but then was trying to be all in. Anyway, so that was kind of an interesting spot for our relationship.
What are the rules around missions? Are you allowed to date in them or no? You have to break up.
You can like I don't know. You can call it dating if you want, but it's not really dating. I mean,
you're not with them. Like you don't see them the whole time.
You can't see them.
Can write whoever you want that one day a week, but like within the mission, like if the people that you are surrounded by, you cannot be dating them.
Got it.
You're paired with a companion of your gender the whole time. And so, but like if you have somebody at home, like Connor and I, like, I don't know, we never fully distinguished whether or not we were dating. I think.
Right.
Yeah. Like because I kept breaking up and getting back together, we just kind of left like, we don't really know where our relationship is, but halfway through it was like,
you're pretty adamant that we weren't dating and weren't anything. She was very courteous because she was like, well, I want you to like be able to go on dates. So like we're not dating, but you like don't wait for me. And I was stubborn.
And won 2 national titles. That was Connor's winter arc, as they would say.
Yeah, well, like for a while it was great for me because it like I got really focused on running in school. So it was like I don't know if my grades were better. My running went a lot better. So, yeah, it was like I was able to just kind of hone in and
But then still kind of have that like dating satisfaction of I have a girl a little bit. She's busy. She's not here, but like I already know.
She goes to another school. I mean, she lives in another state.
She's gone. She's far away, but I can like hone in and focus. But like I still, anyways, I think that was a little bit confidence boosting for him.
Not at all a running question, but I'm fascinated nonetheless. Why? I mean, the answer is true love. Not to sound Disney-esque, but why do you think your relationship was able to survive 18 months of long distance? My current relationship was long distance for forever. Absolutely brutal. Would not wish it upon anyone. But I feel like if you can make it up on the other side, there's such fruit, and I feel like it really tests love. So I'm curious for you guys, what did that experience do for you, specifically on the other end of it, being able to look back and be like, wow, I don't know if we're going to go through many things harder than that.
Ooh.
I mean, you hear that distance makes the heart grow fonder. And I think that that's a true thing for us too. Like, at least for me, and I'll just speak for myself, like I was a brand new freshman straight out of high school when I met him.
And I was an old man. No, just kidding.
And so,
only sort of.
But for me, like there was a lot of maturity that needed to happen for me. I think to me, I almost consider COVID a little bit of a blessing because it did actually pull us apart a little bit, forcing us to be apart so that we could kind of develop ourselves. We were dating pretty seriously, even though like when COVID hit and even after. And I think if I would have gone back to BYU that fall, we would have gotten married, which I don't think obviously it worked out, but I think if we hadn't had that time to develop ourselves, it would have made that first part of our marriage really hard. And so I'm really grateful for that. I came back a little more confident and sure of myself from my mission, and Connor had a chance to win his national championships it was like school, running, sleep, eat, like on repeat. And so, yeah, like it was very repetitive. And so, which I think for that time was really good for him. And it kind of set up his whole career. And so we see it as a total blessing.
For me, it was just, in the same sense, it was easy to be intentional. I know that's not answering your question.
No, run with it.
But it was a really easy time to be intentional because I had somebody that was like an accountability partner that I talked to once a week, and I had my goals and I could just focus on what I wanted. I don't know. I heard something recently about, might have been like a book I was reading or something, but, or maybe it was an Instagram reel. I don't know. It was something along the lines of like, are you becoming, it was a book. I know what book it was. Are you becoming the person that you want others to describe you as, or something like that? Like when people ask about you, are you like acting on what you want to be? And, I don't know. That was like a good time for me to just be like, okay, well, Kylie's going to come back and on about April 30th, and I might not see her till August, but I probably wouldn't see you till like mid-June. But I knew I was going to see her at like sometime in that time frame of 2022. And so it was like, how do I, at this point, what do I need to change, and what do I need to do to become person that she'll like more than I was? Like, what are the things that are keeping me from being the person I want to be, and what are the things that I can do to become who I want to be? I don't know if that makes any sense. But
no, totally. It's like
Kylie's giving the blank stare, so I'm like, oh crap, that didn't make any sense.
No. See if this resonates, Connor, because I think about this a lot as a man, specifically when I was single. it's like, think of the man you want to be and the qualities that that man has, and then go and try and get those qualities, because ultimately that's the person you want to be, and that's the person that your future wife is going to be attracted to. So, and I think honestly in society today, like, people way underestimate the power and the fruit of being single and all that you can do in that time, or in your guys' case, loosely dating from
Yeah,
afar,
yeah.
because it does allow you the grace and the space to grow. And obviously, I think you should be able to do that in the context of a relationship. But Kylie, as you were speaking to, a lot of times you're not there, and you need that space and that freedom, without being constrained to a relationship. So, I guess while we have a happy, successful married couple across the screen, we probably have a lot of bright-eyed young people listening, who want to find their future spouse. What would you guys say to all the single people out there? Qualities they should look for in a partner. Yeah, we'll start with that.
Oh, I think the biggest one is making sure that your values are aligned. Um, because when your values are aligned, no matter what happens in life, you can always go back to your values, and that's what's grounding. And for us, a lot of it is faith, and so we align faith wise, and so we know when things kind of hit the fan a little bit, that we can always go back to that. Um, I guess aside from that, is for me, it was something that's really attractive is hard work. That doesn't mean over the top hard work, but somebody who has a purpose and has a drive, and this is what
Runs
I'm working
130
towards.
mile weeks.
Yes. And that's not what I was envisioning as a single person ever. But I think that was really attractive because I'm a little bit of a busybody, and I wanted somebody who could be my teammate and somebody I could work things through, not just live two separate lives. So those are my two things.
I don't know if I'm ever good to speak on relationships. I got lucky once, and that's about all I ever need. No. Actually, maybe let me rephrase that. I realize that can be taken inappropriately. I was very fortunate that I convinced Kylie to marry me. Um, I think the big thing for me, though, is integrity. Is finding somebody who has integrity, and I don't think I'm perfect by any means, but I think I married somebody who definitely has high integrity, and that's important to me. Just knowing, like, in relationships, and extended family relationships, I've seen a lot of people who've struggled with not being the same person at home when they go out as they are at home. And I wanted to marry somebody who, has that integrity, has the same goals, has the same attitude when I'm there and when I'm not. I don't ever have to worry um, when Kylie is out talking about me with anybody. Um, if she's bringing up my faults, she's bringing them up at home as well. So I don't need to worry about that. And that's I think that's something. Find somebody who has the same values and who has some integrity.
I love it. The formula, ladies and gentlemen. Connor, I wanted to ask you how many miles the morning of your wedding, and more nervous before your wedding or before American record attempt?
Miles before the wedding. I think I did 12 that morning.
I did 6.
Okay. And were you more nervous before the wedding or a big race?
I remember I didn't sleep well the night before we got married, but I was kind of just having a party with my family.
You don't seem to sleep well before big events, it sounds like.
I don't. But I think, I don't know. I mean, if we were to compare the American record and like the Olympic trials, those were like, he was a lot more stressed the night before for that than for the American record. So, but I don't know.
Yeah,
night before marriage.
I would say night before we got married, I
We're excited.
don't think I was nervous. Yeah, it was just a lot of excitement.
Excitement. Yeah. Kyle, do you get speaking of nerves, do you get nervous for Connor's races, and where are you, like specifically these marathons? Are you the person that's trying to go to like 2 solid points? You're trying to go to like 6 and you're running around and you're figuring out routes? Like what does race day look like for you?
Yeah, it's changed and evolved the longer we've been married. I think Connor said this right before Chicago, but I think it's kind of summed up the past couple big races he's had for me, but he just said it. Someone asked him, like, are you nervous for Chicago? And he's like, why would I be nervous? The work is done. The hay is in the barn. Anything I'd be nervous about, it's out of my control. And so before big races, I can't control anything that happens in the race. Sure, I can help him, I can prepare, but when it comes time for race time, I can't do anything. And how I kind of relate it is like, not like he's a child in any way, but it's kind of like sending your kid off to kindergarten or off to college. I've done everything I can, you're on your own type of thing. And so, in a way, it's just like, I get nervous just for the logistical things, but there are a lot of things that are out of my control. I don't like being on the course. And frankly, Connor doesn't totally need me on the course. I'll use that word. That's not going to help him run faster, if I were to be honest. That's not something that Connor totally needs. And so for particularly Chicago, I was actually hanging out with Ray Flynn the entire time. I was in the VIP lounge, and then I walked out to the finish and saw him at the finish. So I had all the data. I knew exactly what was going on, instead of just going to one spot and seeing him quickly go by and running to another spot just to quickly go by. Like I knew what was going on the entire time. And so that eased my nerves and it eliminated the emotion. I took it more as I'm at work than I'm out there trying to just support and do more to help him, but I'm not actually helping him.
Kylie, for you, at what point, we talked about kind of your progression of understanding the sport. At what point did it click that you were dating or married to someone who is slowly turning into one of America's best to ever do it?
It's come in little bits. It hit again yesterday when I'm like, you ran a marathon 3 weeks ago and you're running one again, and you're having just a conversation with everybody around. Sometimes it's one of those like, I don't know. When did it hit? I think it probably hit like Olympic trials, like afterwards, like, oh, like, it's just, it comes in like little bits. Like, I don't think it's like, wow, I'm like married to this great athlete. Not that you're not, but I just know you. Like, I'm not
married to anybody great. Just some rando.
Like, but I'm married to I'm married to Connor. I'm not married to the Connor Mantz, you know,
Sure.
like, and so I think my perception of him is way different than what most people's perception is. Sure, I have my little moments like yesterday where I'm just like, I'm at mile 11 and he's like, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll catch up with you. And I'm like, oh, that makes me feel slow. And he did. And he came right back up. And so it's just, I don't know. I think there's it comes in little bits.
Yeah, you probably wanted to fall in love with Connor the person and not the runner. So you're probably like a little like blinders on. You can win the Olympics and I'll still think of you as just my husband.
Yeah, and I think it is, again, call it a blessing that I didn't know much about running. Maybe that kind of helped Connor before, so it wasn't like he was marrying a fan, you know? Like, it was a very genuine relationship. It is.
Yeah. Connor,
it isn't now. You gotta work on that.
No, for sure. Connor, on your end, Kylie, you don't know this. This is funny. I went to BU earlier this year. It's crazy. We're in November. This year's flown by. And I was doing some work for Under Armour, shooting some content for them. And I just see Connor, a normal person, close tracks. I'm like, bro, what are you doing here? What? And he was like, oh, my wife's running in the 5K. I was like, your wife runs? What? And we had a conversation, Connor, and you were telling me about how good Kylie was becoming at running. So I want to ask you specifically, as Kylie has continued to progress, is it crazy? Kind of, you saw your own progression, you've seen teammates' progression, but from my perspective, Kylie, it's not normal to just kind of randomly throw out OTQ and train for that as someone who ran her freshman year of high school. So Connor, how cool has it been to see Kylie's progression in the sport?
Oh, it's been really fun, especially because she gets to do the fun progression. I keep telling her that it's not always going to be like this. You know, I don't know if you felt like this, Dominic, but like I've had a lot of years where I plateaued and didn't improve for 18 months, 24 months, or longer. Like I felt like I just stayed about the same. Like, you know, you make your jumps.
I peaked in 8th grade, so I
Oh no!
I peaked in 8th grade.
Oh man!
No, I won my city championship, and I thought I was like gonna go to. I thought that was equivalent to like I'm gonna be a world record holder. I'm gonna go to the Olympics, and that didn't happen. So that's my joke.
Brutal. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, like, but for Kylie, she's just now starting, like, really getting into it. So it's like she makes a jump. It seems like every 3-4 months. Sometimes every 6 months she'll make like a big jump, and it's just like she doesn't. I don't know. Every week, workouts just go a little bit better, and I'm like, I have to keep telling her like, hey, it's not always going to be like this. You're gonna hit a time where you're gonna go like a year and a half with no improvement. You're gonna see improvements in workouts, but no race improvement, no PRs, no nothing. And we just kind of laugh about it because it hasn't come yet.
No, but I also think like I skipped the puberty years and running, you know, so I think sometimes when your body's going through that, like, cause I started later. And so, and there's no pressure. Like I'm not contracted. I'm not on a team. It's just me. And so even if there is a plateau, I don't even know if I would notice it yet. I don't know. And we haven't gotten there, but I'm enjoying the process right now, and it's been really fun.
How often do you guys go out date night or for a walk or something, and you guys get stopped for a picture, or, oh my gosh, are you Connor Mantz?
All the time.
How brutal is it?
Not usually on a walk, but a date night, yeah, it's pretty common.
Yeah.
Is that annoying?
A lot of times it's flattering. Sometimes I think it's cute. Sometimes I can be in a bad mood, but it's not them, it's me. Sometimes I'm like, no, we're trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, because I've felt this before. I am curious. Sometimes when I go out or do things, it's like you go somewhere and you assume like this is like my private space. This is like my private life, you know, where you can be pissed because you had a hard day, right? Or you can, whatever it might be. And then you realize that, oh, anyone in this room could know who I am. And it almost is like you always have to be on in your head, and that's not fun. That's at least how I felt, which I don't know.
A little bit, like, I'm going to get blinds at Home Depot, and I'm like upset about something stupid, like they don't have the right size, or I cut them too short, and now I feel like I have to pay for them, or whatever. Like, and then, you know, I'm in a bad mood, and someone stops me, and I'm like, what? And they're like, are you Connor Mantz? And I'm like, dang it. I'm like, not that I say like anything like, I didn't say anything negative. I just had a bad attitude when he said, hey, excuse me. And I'm like, oh, like,
yeah, it's normally other things, and then I'm cranky about it. But most of the time it's fine.
It seems like I recognize it a lot when I say stupid things. People seem to recognize me. So maybe I get recognized less if I kept my mouth shut. But it's like when I say something like really like out there dumb, and I'm like, why did I say it? And I'm like, oh, at least only like my wife heard in some randos. And then one of the randos turns around and is like, you're Connor Mantz. Can you get a picture with you? And I'm like, oh no, it's not some rando.
Kylie, how much food does a American record holder have to eat, and how many carbs are going down in the Mantz household on a daily basis? Now that you're both marathoners, is it food always being prepared in the house?
I wish.
Sometimes we're not as glamorous as it probably sounds or looks, but sometimes Connor doesn't like me saying this, but sometimes I'm convinced I eat more than him. And so he's like, no, absolutely not. But anyways, we don't know. But a lot. We're snacky people, and so it's not so much like we're gonna make this big meal. It's more just snacks all the time. We love Costco. And but we do love making fun dinners and whatnot. That's kind of the big meal, and then kind of snacks, little meals throughout the day.
We did grow up differently. Like I grew up with a family that would every meal we'd make together and then we'd eat together. And her family grew up with like dinners only, but you make your own breakfast and lunch. So that's been
fend for yourself.
Yeah, so that's like something we're trying to
still figure
out. We're still trying to figure out in our marriage. I think we've moved a lot. I think if you count when we lived in Park City, I think this is the fifth place we've lived.
Yeah,
wow.
In 3 years.
In 3 years. So we've moved a lot.
We're always kind of on the go.
And so it's like we'll establish I don't know, a habit or a ritual or whatever you want to call it of this is when we eat, this is when we make meals, and then we'll move. Or we'll be like, all right, now we're going to altitude camp, and everything switches. So for a while, I'd be making her lunches every day, and then I'd eat breakfast with you. And then, I don't know, now I feel like you make more food for me than I do for you. But it's I don't know.
Who's the better chef? Unbiased.
Ooh, you've gotten a lot better.
Connor likes the crafting of it and the flavor creation, where I just give me a recipe and I'll follow it. So I love to create the meal plans. Mm-hmm. So I like the organization of it, where he actually approaches cooking as if it's kind of an art.
How many supplements and Nike shoes are on the house on a daily basis, flooding out of closets and cabinets?
Yeah,
our basement's just a shoe shrine.
Graveyard.
There's a lot of shoes.
There's probably, between the two of us, probably 70 pairs.
Wow.
And I'll probably take, you say no, how much do you think?
Oh, I think there's probably well over 100 since we've gotten here.
All right.
We've gotten a lot.
Okay.
Of shoes.
Well over 100, but I'd say probably 70 to 80% of those are mine.
Yeah. Supplements, though, I'm a supplement girl.
Do you just get those massive Nike hauls 4 times a year, boxes up to the ceiling?
No, so Nike lets us order everything.
Okay.
So it's we'll get one a year of your jersey and
your kit.
Yeah, all the stuff that goes with the jersey, the race day attire. And then they'll do some fun things you'll get a different jersey, or the Chicago Marathon a different jersey. But you order everything else. So I think, I don't know, I talked to other people, other pros with other brands, and they're like, yeah, I have 10 pairs of long shorts that I use for lifting and 5 pairs of running shorts. And I'm like, oh, I don't have that problem. I have as many running shorts as I would ever need. And I just order them as they wear out. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Sometimes she'll get a little after me because I'll my closet is pretty filled, and I'll see stuff on the website for athletes, and I'll be like, this is sweet. I want to try this out. A new running jacket, or a new I like this shirt. I'm gonna order more of those, and then I'll order stuff, and then I'll be like, oh, I don't like this. I like this. So
he accumulates a lot of clothes, and there's a line in our closet. I'm a super minimal person too, and so he's got a whole lot more clothes than I do.
That's true.
And but there's a line in the closet he's not allowed to cross. When it gets close with clothes, you gotta get rid of your stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Get rid of all the old stuff, and then
refresh it with some new Nike. I love it.
Yes.
Looking ahead as we start to wrap this one up, upcoming races for both of you. What are you guys looking towards circled on the calendar?
So I'll be doing U.S. Cross Country Championships, hopefully World Cross Country Championships. It should make the team, but nothing's guaranteed. And I don't know. Bouncing back from a marathon, you can think you're in great form, and you can not be in great form. So that's what's next for me. We haven't even talked about.
Yeah, there's nothing on the calendar for me, so we're just gonna kind of.
That's how it should be the day after a marathon, by the way.
Yeah, I just kind of am recovering, and we'll see how the body goes, and then all the things, and go from there.
Are you like your crazy husband and like run, like don't take a break after a marathon and just keep running? Connor, I swear you always run the day after a marathon.
I do.
I did run today.
What?
I mean, he had to hold me back. I only went 2. So, but then I came home.
What's the theory behind it? You love running, or there's actual training benefit?
Both. It was more like I'm really sore, but then I find that the more I move, the better I feel. So motion is lotion, and I figured like, well, I just got off the plane. I walked through the airport, and so I've tried to actually move quite a bit today. Just more to get things moving well. So, but yes, I did actually run today.
Final question for you guys. The question I ask every guest, Kylie, that Connor's been asked before is, I don't even know how it stuck, but it just did early on. If you had Gordon Ramsay coming over to your house for dinner, what would you choose to make for him? So we'll do couples edition. You both have to curate a meal together. The best of the Mantzes. What are you guys cooking for Gordon Ramsay?
You should. What have you already said?
I said Japanese curry.
Oh, you would. I would probably do like I don't know, some like fancy salmon or chicken, probably that, or like some crock potty thing, or with a nice salad and some nice fruit and potatoes or rice or something. So I would organize it, and then he would go and make it taste.
Chef it up. I love it. A crock pot. I don't really understand Utah weather. Do you guys get a good fall, or does it just like immediately snow?
It's a beautiful fall. We have such a good fall. So
fall's the best season. Change my mind. I think it's the best thing. Warm food, pumpkin, everything. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This was a ton of fun. I appreciate you both. And Kylie, keep up the running. Connor, I don't know what you have to do for Kylie to think you're America's best thing. Maybe run 158. I appreciate you both.
That's probably it.
That might do it. But thank you so much, guys. This was a ton of fun, and best of luck on your continued pursuits and endeavors.
Awesome. Thanks, Dominic.